Liverpool's transfer window so far has been very successful for the football club, making huge transfers like Florian Wirtz, Gyokeres, and Frimpong. Could we be about to see Luis Diaz and Darwin Nunez both leave the football club? Before we get into everything, I want to say my thoughts and prayers are to out there, everyone involved in the Diego Jota situation. My thoughts and prayers go out to all Liverpool fans. You will never forget this, but I think as a football club, collectively, you will move forward together. When I look at the Liverpool situation, they are probably the strongest fan base out there. Some of the things they've been through throughout the years, it just brings the fan base closer. They unite, they move forward collectively as a unit. And I wanted to just say, I do think Liverpool Football Club have taken and dealt with the entire situation fantastically, from paying Diego Jota's family the remainder of his salary, retiring the shirt, the amount of people going outside the ground. It's been absolutely fantastic. There are a lot of transfers regarding Liverpool today. Luis Diaz is a very interesting one. Very interesting. Credible sources coming out from Germany saying that Bayern Munich and Barcelona are well and truly in the race for Luis Diaz. Darwin Nunez as well has an agreement with Napoli, and they're about to receive a big fee potentially for Viktor Osimhen, which means they will then have the money to go in and sign a Darwin Nunez. Now, obviously, Liverpool can't sell every single forward this summer, so maybe Harvey Elliott does stay. But I want to talk about Rodrygo, and I'm going to break it all down. Make sure you drop a like. Let me know your thoughts. Get your comments in down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. And make sure you have hit that subscribe button. Yes, you right there. You right there. If you haven't subscribed, please go down and hit that subscribe button. The road to 70,000 is well and truly on. We are about 800 away from 62,000. Now, Fabrizio Romano, according to LiveScore, has come out and said Barcelona are reportedly set for a move for Luis Diaz, with the player keen on the move. And as you can see, that was only an hour ago or so. The Luis Diaz saga is going to be one that I think may drag on until after the Preston game. Liverpool Football Club right now have had to deal with something absolutely catastrophic. And I think once the first game against Preston in pre-season is underway, I think they will try to move forward as a football club. Luis Diaz, however, could probably command a fee of about 70, 80 million euros. Now, this is going to be massive for the remainder of the transfer window in terms of how much money is going to be in the pot. We all know how much they want Alexander Isak. I don't necessarily think that's realistic this window. But if Luis Diaz does go, there is a certain left winger who is heavily linked with a move to Arsenal, and that is Rodrygo. Now, if Rodrygo hands in a transfer request after Real Madrid potentially exit the Club World Cup, because after all, they are playing PSG in the next round. If Real Madrid are knocked out by PSG, and it is global news that Rodrygo wants to leave Real Madrid, you are going to have 4, maybe 5 clubs trying to sign him. Bayern Munich still haven't brought in a left winger, and they've just lost Jamal Musiala for 4 to 5 months with a dislocated ankle and a broken fibula. Arsenal, of course, no secret, are after a left winger. And then Liverpool could potentially sell Luis Diaz. Now, we know from before that Rodrygo is admired by Liverpool Football Club. They have been interested in him for a long, long time. Now, there isn't any credible links out there right now suggesting Liverpool could go and sign Rodrygo. This is just more. I saw something earlier on Twitter, and it was coming out from Liverpool News, and it says is earlier today, would you sell Luis Diaz for 70 million, who's 28 years of age, and replace him with Rodrygo for 80 million, who's 24 years of age? Now, that for me is a Michael Edwards type signing. Do Liverpool have the best relationship with Real Madrid in recent years? Probably not. The whole Trent Alexander-Arnold saga is still fresh in the back of everyone's minds. But there is actually genuine truth to Luis Diaz leaving this summer. Florian Plettenberg, who's the most reliable transfer journalist when it comes to Bundesliga news, has come out regarding Bayern Munich and Luis Diaz. FC Bayern are not giving up on the Luis Diaz situation. Max Abel remains on the case, but he's also assessing their options. Any agreement between Luis Diaz and Bayern is denied by all sides. Last week, Abel made a call to Liverpool. It was informal inquiry, not an offer. And Liverpool's response is Diaz is currently not for sale. Bayern remain in contact with the players' camp. More clubs keen on Diaz. Now, Alexander Isak, potentially. The only way I see Alexander Isak coming in is if both Darwin Nunez and Luis Diaz both are sold. Then there would be more than enough money there for Liverpool to go out there and drop absolutely stupidly high amount of money on Alexander Isak. Let me know your thoughts down below. I personally believe that when you look at the Liverpool situation, I think a like-for-like winger is more realistic at this time to replace Luis Diaz. You've also got Harvey Elliott, who is linked to a move away. Brighton are apparently interested. Deal could be reached for about £40 million. You've also got Federico Chiesa. So Liverpool can't sell every single forward. Chiesa, Darwin Nunez, Luis Diaz. They're going to have to bring in maybe one or two forwards this summer. It's going to be a very, very interesting few weeks. Of course, Liverpool do play the Club World Cup. The pre-season games later this month. They tick off the Premier League with the first game on the 15th of August. They've got a pre-season game on Sunday against Preston. After that game is finished, I think the ball will seriously start rolling in terms of the Luis Diaz saga, the Alexander Isak saga, and potentially Rodrygo. If Liverpool line up next season with a front line of Rodrygo on the left, Salah on the right, and potentially someone of the lines of Florian Wirtz in the false nine or Cody Gakpo up front. I said this the other day on Twitter. Liverpool, for me, are still clear favourites for the Premier League. But one thing is absolutely for sure, that Arsenal signing Viktor Gyokeres, all of a sudden, Liverpool fans are now looking at this Premier League title race differently. Absolutely differently. This is going to be a Premier League title race that, for me, is going to be epic. I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again. The Premier League title race last year, towards the back end of it, it just dragged out because Liverpool had it done so early. And while that's fantastic for Liverpool fans, in the Premier League, you want to see two of the best teams absolutely, going at it. And when you look at Liverpool potentially having Rodrygo or Arsenal potentially having Rodrygo, it tips the balance in terms of who if Arsenal line up next season with Rodrygo, Gyokeres and Saka in their front line, that is equally as strong as Liverpool's. Where the Premier League will be won will be down to the manager now for me, because you've got two unbelievably strong teams and sides. I think it's a two-horse race, and I think City are currently the third strongest. But boy, oh boy, it is going to be one hell of a title race. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think Diaz could end up at Bayern Munich? Do you think he can end up at Barcelona? And I'll see you all in the next one. I'm out.